We have discussed design of the solid shaft till now. So solid shaft design, we have three criteria. One is the strength, second criteria is rigidity, and rigidity is torsional rigidity, and one is lateral rigidity. So we have covered strength criteria and torsional criteria in detail. Lateral criteria we have left up because it is not in our syllabus at present. You will study it in the higher classes. So on the solid shaft, two criteria has been covered. We have also solved the example and we have also understood the steps. We have understood all these steps, how to calculate the permissible stress, then how to find the bending moment, vertical plane, horizontal plane, how to club them, and then finally applying the design equation, then find the diameter of the shaft. We have also covered the ASME design that we have also covered for the solid shaft. So in the today's class, we are going to focus the design of the hollow shaft. So the design of the hollow shaft, the procedure for design is almost similar as of the solid shaft, but there are certain differences. So first, starting the design, we will discuss some advantages and disadvantages of the hollow shaft. So what are the advantages of the hollow shaft over the solid shaft? So we can say that this is the solid shaft of diameter D, and some material from the inside is removed, and that material is placed at the outer periphery. Then for the same weight, the outer diameter, let DO is the outer diameter of the hollow shaft and DI is the inner diameter. So this will be the inner diameter DI and DO. So naturally DO will be greater than D, where D is the diameter of the hollow shaft, because some material from inside is removed and placed at the outer periphery. That's why the outer diameter will be increased. So when the outer diameter will be increased, then hollow shaft will have more strength as compared to solid shaft for the same weight. Number two, in the space, hollow shaft is having some inner diameter, so this part is hollow. So in this part, this passage can be used for the control cables or the lubrication purpose. So this passage can be used for the lubrication purpose or providing some control cables in that space. So these are some advantages. Also one advantage is there, the natural frequency. The natural frequency of the hollow shafts is found much higher than the solid shaft. So it is having more strength, and a passage can be utilized for lubrication, and natural frequency are also higher. That's why there are less chances for the resonance phenomena. So these are some advantages. Now also we will discuss some disadvantages. So disadvantages are, when some material is removed from the hollow shaft, there is a stress concentration. And if the material is not placed at the periphery, then the strength of that hollow shaft will be less than the solid shaft. The removed material is not placed at the periphery, then its weight will be less and its strength will be reduced due to stress concentration. More stress will be produced. So this is one disadvantage, and one more disadvantage is the cost of the hollow shaft is much higher than the cost of the solid shaft. The cost is higher because the production cost for drilling the hole is much higher as compared to solid shaft. So these are two disadvantages. One is stress concentration and one is cost is higher. And now we are moving to the design of the hollow shaft. So design of the hollow shaft, and directly coming to there, these we have already covered. ASME design we have covered. So I'm just coming to design of the hollow shaft. So in the case of hollow shaft, we will again divide our study. Let on the hollow shaft, The inner diameter is di, outer diameter is do, and C is the ratio of di and do. The ratio of inner diameter and outer diameter is C. So during design, I will compare solid versus hollow. So we are having formula for the solid is the tensile stress produced is force divided by area. So area is pi by 4 t square. So this is the formula that we are using for the design of the solid shaft when only axial loading is there. Solid shaft, this is the solid shaft having diameter d and force P is over here. So it is producing only axial stress. Similarly, there is a hollow shaft having inner diameter and outer diameter, and only the force P is acting. So the formula for this will be force divided by area, and area will be somewhat d square minus do square. So if I take common pi by 4 do square, then I have it is do square minus di square. The area of the hollow shaft can be found. It is di, it is do. So this is the material. So area of the cross section can be found pi by 4 do square minus di square. Outer diameter is do, inside diameter is di. So it is do square minus di square. If do square is common, then it is 1 minus di square divided by do square, and the ratio di by do is we are giving a parameter that is named C. So I can write pi by 4 do square 1 minus C square. So if you see the formula difference, pi by 4 d square is here, pi by 4 do square is here. D is the outer diameter. Again, solid shaft have inner and outer, both are same. Here do is the outer diameter of the hollow shaft, and 1 minus C square is the extra term. So only 1 minus C square is extra in the formula. Rest things are similar. So this is the one criteria when only axial stress is acting. Now come to the bending moment criteria. When only bending moment is acting on the shaft, then how will we design the hollow shaft? So for that purpose, let the bending moment coming on the hollow shaft is MB. Again, we will compare the formulas for the solid, for the hollow. For the solid, we are already knowing 32 MB divided by pi d cube. It is equal to the permissible stress. Permissible stress in this case is principal stress. So sigma 1 can be found by 32 MB by pi d cube. Permissible tensile stress, you can say. So in the case of hollow shaft, the formula will be little change 32 MB divided by pi d cube. In place of d, we will use do. In place of d, we will use do. Do is the outer diameter of the hollow shaft. So it is pi by 4 do cube, and one term 1 minus C4. 1 minus C4 याद रखिए, फॉर्मूले में यही चेंज आएगा, right? Where C equal to again same thing di by do. So this is the case when only bending moment is changing. The formula remains similar. There is do in place of d, and 1 minus C4 is extra. Okay. Now we are moving to third case when only torque is acting on the shaft. So in the third case, empty is acting. So again, we will compare formula for the solid, formula for the hollow. In case of solid, we have 16 times mt divided by pi d cube equal to permissible shear stress tau. This is the formula. In case of hollow shaft, formula remains same, only little change, 16 mt divided by pi do cube. In place of d, you have to use do and one term extra, 1 minus C4, where again C equal to di by do. So formulas are very easy to remember. Only 1 minus C4 is extra, and you have to place do in place of d everywhere, except axial stress. So three cases we have covered. Now I am coming to fourth case. Now I am coming to fourth case when a combination of bending moment and torque is acting on the shaft. So let the bending moment is MB and torque is MT. Both are acting. MB plus MT both. So when both are acting, then in case of solid shaft, what we do? We find the equivalent bending moment. We find the equivalent bending moment or equivalent torque. When we will design as per the principal stress theory, we found the equivalent bending moment. So equivalent bending moment is given by half of mb plus root of mb square plus mt square. This is the formula for the equivalent. And for the equivalent torque, we have the formula mte equal to under root of mb square plus mt square. Equivalent bending moment can be used as per the principal stress theory, and MTE can be used as per the maximum shear stress theory. Because the shafts are generally made of ductile material, that's why we use maximum shear stress theory in most of the cases in industrial applications. So the permissible stress in this case is given by 16 times MTE divided by pi d cube. So this is the case of the solid shaft. Now, in the hollow shaft, the formula will little change again. The permissible stress is given by 16 times MTE divided by pi. In place of D, we will write DO, which is the outer diameter of the shaft, and in one term 1 minus C4 again. Same case. तो देख रहे हैं आप, मतलब सॉलिड शाफ्ट समझ में आ गया तो हॉलो शाफ्ट में तो कुछ है ही नहीं. 1 minus C4 मल्टीप्लाई करना है फॉर्मूला, एंड एवरीथिंग इज सिमिलर, प्रोसेस इज सिमिलर. Horizontal plate diagram, vertical plate diagram, combination, everything is similar. Correct? So this is the combination case that we have studied. Now come to the ASME case. Again, the ASME case is also similar, no change. For the solid shaft, what is the formula for the ASME design? The formula for the ASME design is given by, सबसे पहले आप क्या निकालेंगे? Equivalent torque. Equivalent torque is given by kb mb square plus kt mt square. Here kb and kt are the factors given by ASME code. Kb is the bending stress factor and kt is the kb is the shock and fatigue factor for the bending stress, and kt is the shock and fatigue factor for the torsional stress. So just you have to multiply kb and kt in the ASME design. Once you have the equivalent torque, then you can find the diameter of the shaft by, as usual, by using tau equal to 16 times MTE divided by pi d. So this is the case of solid. For the hollow, there is little change in the formula. Tau is given by 16 times MTE divided by pi do cube again and a factor of 1 minus C4. Same. ठीक है, बहुत इजी है. होलो शाफ्ट मतलब सिलेबस में there is nothing, little change, only 1 minus C4 is there. ठीक है. So what we have done, we have compared the design of the solid shaft and the hollow shaft for the 4 cases. First case, only axial stress is acting on the shaft. Second case, only bending moment is acting. Third case, only torque is acting, and fourth case, bending moment and torque both are acting. And fifth case is the ASME design. Now I am coming to torsional rigidity case. So for the torsional rigidity, what are the differences in the design of the solid shaft and the hollow shaft? So again, you will find there is a little change only. So I am coming to design according to torsional rigidity. So as per the torsional rigidity, we are having formula tau equal to 584 MTL divided by GD4. So G is the modulus of rigidity, D is the diameter of the solid shaft, MT is the torque, L is the length of the shaft. So this formula we were using for the solid shaft. This is not tau, this is theta. Theta is the angle of twist. Theta is the angle of twist. So theta equal to 584 MTL by GD4. In case of hollow shaft, theta is given by 584 MTL divided by G. In place of D, we will use DO. So it is GDO4 1 minus C4 again. So now in case of rigidity, our formulas are also similar. And nothing to remember, just formula change. Yeah. So rigidity part also we have covered. Now I am coming to an example. We will solve one example for the hollow shaft design. So this is an example. So A propeller shaft is required to transmit 45 kilowatt power at 500 rpm. So when rpm and power are given, then you can find the torque mt equal to 60 into 10 to the power 6 into power divided by 2 pi n. So it is given by 60 into 10 to the power 6 into power. Power is 45 divided by 2 pi n and rpm is 500. Just solve and tell the value. Calculator लेके बैठिए. What is the value of mt now? बताइए कितना आएगा. Solve करिए. राहुल क्लास में है. संदीप राजपूत. हाँ जी.
सर 859.43.
859.43. Very good. So the answer is 859. उसके बाद आगे बोलिए.
सर 859.43 न्यूटन मीटर.
नहीं, आप इसको सॉल्व करिए. न्यूटन मिलीमीटर में आंसर देगा आपको डायरेक्ट.
अच्छा ओके सर ओके.
देखो, because in design we have to find the dimension in millimeter, है ना. So don't work on meters.
Yes sir. 8,59,436.
436 न्यूटन मिलीमीटर.
हाँ सर 36.69 और है.
हाँ ठीक है, उतना उसको भी ले सकते हैं. 0.69. ठीक है. So you are तुषार गुप्ता.
Yes sir.
Okay. So the torque can be found, है ना. अब देखिए इस क्वेश्चन में आपको टॉर्क डायरेक्टली मिल गया, है ना. पिछले क्वेश्चंस में हमको टॉर्क कैसे मिला था? जैसे हमारे पिछले क्वेश्चंस में क्या था, पुली का केस था. शाफ्ट के ऊपर देयर वाज पुली इज माउंटिंग. सो इन द केस ऑफ पुली वी हैव फाउंड द टॉर्क बाय अप्लाइंग द T1 minus T2 multiplied by the radius of the pulley. ठीक है. In case of gear, the torque can be found by the tangential force multiplied by the radius of the gear. ठीक है. और यहाँ पर टॉर्क आपको डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूले से मिल गया. 60 into 10 to the power 6 kilowatt divided by 2 pi n. So it is a hollow shaft having an inside diameter 0.6 times of outside diameter. It is written in the question 0.6 times the outside diameter. So what is C? C is di by do. So C equal to given 0.6. C is given 0.6. It is made of plain carbon steel and permissible shear stress is 84 Newton per mm square. Permissible shear stress is given tau equal to 84 megapascal. Calculate the inside and outside diameters of the hollow shaft. So how will you calculate? What is the formula? बताइए कौन सा बेसिस पर डिजाइन होना है? टॉर्जनल रिजिडिटी बेस पर या स्ट्रेंथ बेस पर? क्वेश्चन को पढ़ के बताइए किस बेस पर डिजाइन होना है. स्ट्रेंथ बेसिस क्वेश्चन है या रिजिडिटी बेसिस क्वेश्चन है?
Strength basis sir.
Yes, it is a question based on strength because angle of twist is not given here. Only the permissible shear stress is given. So that's why you can use tau equal to 16 times mt divided by pi do cube because it is a hollow shaft into 1 minus C4. So here tau is given 84. 16 into mt you have already calculated 8,59,436. That you have already calculated divided by pi do is the unknown and 1 minus C4. C is the ratio that is given 0.6. So just use 0.6 to the power 4 and solve it. Only the unknown is do. तुषार solve करिए और do बताइए. What is the answer for do?
Sir 39.12 mm.
Do is coming 39.12
mm.
12 mm, है ना. When
Yes,
do
sir.
is 39.12, you can find di. So di is 0.6 से multiply कर दीजिए.
Sir 23.47.
कितना?
23.47.
Yes, 23.47. This is the answer. So this answer is given for di. है ना. आपको दोनों आंसर देने होंगे, inside भी and outside भी. So inside diameter is 23, outside diameter is 39.12. So very small question on the hollow shaft. Is it clear? कभी-कभी एग्जाम्स में इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं, है ना. ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं है इस क्वेश्चन में. टॉर्क कैन बी फाउंड इजीली बाय द जनरलाइज्ड फार्मूला 60 10 to the power 6 kilowatt by 2 pi n. याद रखिए इस फार्मूले को. So one more example we will do on the hollow shaft, and this is that question is quite complex as compared to this question. So this is the question. So just read a hollow transmission shaft having inside diameter 0.6 times the outside diameter. So C is given. C is 0.6. The material of the shaft is 40 C8. SYT is given 380 and the factor of safety is 3. Okay. So 380 divided by 3 into 2, then you can find the permissible shear stress. Solve this. What is the value? 380 divided by 6. So 380 divided by 6 is coming 63.33. Okay, so it is 63.33 megapascal. It is the permissible shear stress. A belt pulley, 1000 millimeter in diameter. So the diameter of the pulley is 1000. That's why radius of the pulley is 500 mm. Is mounted on the shaft which overhangs the left hand bearing by 250 mm. So there is a figure is given. This is the figure. So this is the bearing. This is the pulley. The distance between the bearing and the pulley is given 250 mm. So this structure or this geometry is just like a cantilever. Only one support is there. Only one bearing is there on the left side. So this is quite related with the cantilever problem. So in the case of cantilever, if a load is acting on the end, free end, then what is the maximum bending moment? किसी को पता है फॉर्मूला? बताइए भाई, प्रीवियस नॉलेज आप लोगों ने सॉम पढ़ा है, मैकेनिक्स पढ़ा है. सपोज देयर इज अ कैंटिलीवर and a force P is coming over here at the free end, then what is the maximum bending moment acting on the shaft? बताओ. इसका बेंडिंग मोमेंट का डायग्राम कैसा बनता है? कुछ ट्रायंगुलर पैटर्न में बनता है ना, ऐसे करके आपने देखा होगा. तो सबसे ज्यादा बेंडिंग मोमेंट इस सपोर्ट के लिए आता है. सो बेंडिंग मोमेंट इज गिवन बाय फोर्स मल्टीप्लाइड बाय डिस्टेंस. तो इस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पर, है ना, बियरिंग वाले पॉइंट पे, सपोज दिस पॉइंट इज ए, द फ्री एंड इज बी, सो बेंडिंग मोमेंट इज गिवन बाय फोर्स मल्टीप्लाइड बाय डिस्टेंस, सो इट इज P into L. ठीक है. तो कैंटिलीवर के केस में if you are working from the right side, from the free end, then there is no need to find the reaction. ठीक है. इससे पहले वाले जो केस थे सिंपली सपोर्टेड बीम वगैरह में, हम क्या कर रहे थे, पहले रिएक्शन फाइंड करते थे बेंडिंग मोमेंट फाइंड करने के लिए. समझ में आ रहा है? In the case of cantilever, there is no need to find the reaction because from the free end side there is no bearing, there is not any reaction force. So that's why bending moment can be calculated just P into L. Okay. So now in this case, what is the force coming on the pulley? So there is a tight side tension P1, one force, slack side tension P2, another force, and if weight of the pulley is W, then the total force is P1 plus P2 plus W. Okay. So just read the language of the question. So which overhangs the left bearing by 250 mm. The belts are vertical, and transmits power to the machine shaft below the pulley. The tension on the tight and slack side of the belt are 3 kilonewton and 1 kilonewton. Tensions are also given, directly. There is no need to use T1 by T2 e to the power mu theta now. While the weight of the pulley is 500 Newton, weight of the pulley is also given. Okay. So 3 kilonewton, 1 kilonewton, 500 Newton. These are the three forces. So it is 3 kilonewton means 3000 Newton. It is 1 kilonewton means 1000 Newton, and weight of the pulley is 500 Newton. Then what is the total force? 3000 plus 1000 plus 500. कितना हुआ भाई बताइए? 3000 plus 1000 plus 500. So it is 4500 Newton force coming on the pulley in the vertical direction. So in this case, only vertical forces are acting. There is no horizontal force. So that's why only vertical diagram बनाने की ही जरूरत है आपको, है ना. There is no need to make horizontal plane diagram. तो फोर्स ही नहीं है वहां. तो आपकी प्रॉब्लम कैसी हो गई? जस्ट सिंपल, पुली बी पर आपका फोर्स कितना आ रहा है? 4500 न्यूटन, और फोर्स इनटू डिस्टेंस 4500 into 250. Then your bending moment is given by 4500 into 250. Solve it. 4500 into 250 सॉल्व करिए, कितना आएगा? तुषार बताइए.
11,25,000
Okay, so it is coming 11,000.
नहीं 11,25,000
Okay, 11,25,000 यूनिट हो गई इसकी न्यूटन मिलीमीटर.
मिलीमीटर.
So unit is Newton millimeter. So it is MB. हमें बेंडिंग मोमेंट पता लग गया. Now, what is the torque coming on this hollow shaft? So torque can be found by T1 minus T2 multiplied by radius of the pulley. In the case of pulley. So what is T1? T1 is 3,000. What is T2? T2 is 1,000. What is the radius of the pulley? The diameter is 1,000. That's why radius is 500. Solve it. 2,000 into 500. कितना आ रहा है?
10 लाख.
10 लाख. ठीक है. 10 lakh unit is again Newton millimeter. तो देखिए the hollow shaft is under bending moment also, under torque also, है ना? So it is a case of combined case MB plus MT. So in case of MB plus MT, what is the procedure? We have to find the equivalent torque. So just find the equivalent torque. Equivalent torque is given by MB square plus MT square. Solve it. MB is 11,25,000 and MT is 10 lakh. Solve it. Yes, कितना आंसर आ रहा है बताइए. हाँ जी.
15,05,200.
डाइलेक्ट्रिक लिक्विड
कितना आ गया?
15,05,200.
5,200. चलिए. Newton millimeter. ठीक है. Now the equivalent torque is available and it is a hollow shaft. Then what is the formula for design? Design formula is tau equal to 16 times equivalent bending moment divided by pi do cube and multiplied by 1 minus C4, where C equal to di by do. So now MT is available 15,05,000. Permissible shear stress is also available. We have calculated. Permissible shear stress is 63.33. ये हमने पहले ही फाइंड कर लिया था. So I can put the values 63.33 equal to 16 into 15,05,200 है ना. 15,05,200 divided by pi. Do is the unknown because we are designing, and 1 minus C4. C is 0.6 to the power 4. So now only the unknown is do. So solve for do, and the design of the shaft, hollow shaft can be complete. So find do now.
51.8.
51.8. So do equal to 51.8 millimeter. What is the di? Multiplied by 0.6.
31.0.
31.08.
31.08. Okay, clear? So we have solved two numericals on the design of the hollow shaft. So this completes our shaft design. We have completed all the cases. ASME design, combination cases, only bending moment, only torsion, rigidity case. So many permutation combination are there. ठीक है. Suppose one more thing. Suppose shaft के ऊपर सब कुछ आ रहा है ना. मान लीजिए एक्साइल स्ट्रेस भी आ रहा है. Sigma T is the axial stress, and bending moment is MB, and torque is MT. How will you solve this problem? बताइए. तो इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए आप क्या करेंगे? सिग्मा टी इज एक्साइल स्ट्रेस, ड्यू टू एमबी देयर इज ए बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस, ड्यू टू एमटी देयर इज ए टॉर्जनल स्ट्रेस. द नेचर ऑफ सिग्मा टी एंड सिग्मा बी इज सिमिलर, दैट्स व्हाई दे कैन बी एल्जेब्रिकली. So the net tensile stress is sigma T plus sigma B. So they can be algebraically, इनको आप ऐड कर सकते हैं. So this is the tensile stress and this is the torsional shear stress. Now shear stress is there, tensile stress is there, है ना? Then you can solve the problem by any theory of either maximum principal stress theory or by the shear stress theory. तो जनरली न्यूमेरिकल्स जो आते हैं वो होते हैं MB प्लस MT के केस वाले, है ना। यदि MB प्लस MT का केस है तब तो आप इक्विवेलेंट बेंडिंग मोमेंट निकाल लीजिए और डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूला अप्लाई कर लीजिए, है ना। MB प्लस MT के केस में भी प्रॉब्लम को हम दो तरीके से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, ठीक है, ध्यान दीजिएगा। देखो MB प्लस MT के केस में मैं दो तरीके से आपको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करके बता रहा हूँ। एक प्रॉब्लम तो ये है कि अभी तक जैसे हम कर रहे हैं MB and MT are acting, then we are finding MT equivalent, and after getting MT we are just applying tau equal to 16 times MT divided by pi dq. एक और तरीका क्या हो सकता है, MB plus MT are acting, due to MB find sigma b first, due to MT find tau first, है ना। MB से पहले आप सिग्मा b निकाल लो, सिग्मा b निकालने का फॉर्मूला क्या होगा, 32 MB by pi dq। तो ये सिग्मा भी किस फॉर्म में आ जाएगा, डी के फॉर्म में आ जाएगा, क्योंकि डी तो अननोन है। और टॉ कैसे निकाल लेंगे आप, 16 MT डिवाइड बाई पाई डी क्यू, तो ये भी डी के फॉर्म में आ जाएगा, ये भी डी के फॉर्म में आ जाएगा। नाउ सिग्मा बी इज अवेलेबल, टॉ इज अवेलेबल, देन इक्विवेलेंट प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेस कैन बी फाउंड बाय सिग्मा बी बाई 2 प्लस अंडर रूट ऑफ सिग्मा बी बाई 2 होल स्क्वायर प्लस टाउ स्क्वायर, एंड इक्विवेलेंट शियर स्ट्रेस कैन बी फाउंड, मैक्सिमम शियर स्ट्रेस कैन बी फाउंड बाय अंडर रूट ऑफ sigma b by 2 whole square plus tau square. First formula can be utilized for the maximum principal stress theory. Second formula can be utilized as per maximum shear stress theory. This tau can be compared with the permissible shear stress. This sigma 1 can be compared with the permissible tensile stress. So I think this procedure is lengthy. So if it is a case of combination, then go for this procedure. Only this is easy. Just find the equivalent torque and find the diameter directly. इस केस में थोड़ी सी कैलकुलेशन ज्यादा है, but answer will be same by both the methods.
सर
Yes.
सर जो इक्विवेलेंट टॉर्क का जो फॉर्मूला होता है वो सर यहीं से डिराइव होता है ना, इसी थ्योरी
हाँ,
से?
यही इसी मेथड से डिराइव होता है। तो इसी मेथड से डिराइव करने के बाद हमने उसको इजी तरह से कन्वर्ट कर लिया है for the calculation purpose. Both are same. In this case, we are finding the stresses first, है ना? We are finding the bending stress first and torsional shear stress first. Then we are combining them by the different theories. If we will combine them by maximum principal stress theory, this is the formula. If we will combine them by maximum shear stress theory, then this is the formula. Generally, we use maximum shear stress theory. So this is the formula. And this formula is also for the maximum shear stress theory. If we have to do the problem by maximum principal stress theory by the first method, then we have to find the equivalent bending moment. And equivalent, after finding the equivalent bending moment, then you have to compare by the sigma. Principal shear stress is given by 32 MBE divided by pi d. So by both the methods, the answers will be similar. They are just similar, only the logic is different. Okay. So this is all from my side. Now it is your turn. If you have any query, please unmute your mic and ask. And stop sharing now. Yes. Sandeep, any query? Or clear everything?
No sir, everything is clear.
Everything is clear, है ना? So please practice. We have solved around 5 to 6 questions on this app, है ना? Some on rigidity, some on hollow, some on solid. Now it is your chance. Practice, है ना? Practice some lengthy questions, है ना? Those questions in which we have built, we have made horizontal plane diagram, vertical plane diagram. तो lengthy questions हैं, उनको करिए. So in the things will be settled in your mind, and you will not feel hesitation in solving the problems during the exam. Okay, so in the next class we are going to start the next topic, that is design of the key and couplings. Okay, only 3 things are remaining now: the design of the key, design of the coupling, and design of the springs. In spring we will design the helical springs and the leaf springs. One by one. चलिए ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक्स फॉर